Hello, my name is Denny, and today I'm going to be drawing a Stardew Valley inspired page in my sketchbook using acrylic markers. And this will be day one of me trying to empty out my acrylic markers. Now, before I move on to the artwork, of course I am going to have to explain my absence from YouTube, to which I have a very good reason for it. To put it simply, college was hard. I was studying and making all these outputs to the point where I literally had no time to create or film any type of content. I was mostly working on my multimedia arts projects while also balancing general education. And with me being the type to do my darndest to get a high grade, I focused on my studies more than creating long-form content on this platform. This very platform that is blessed with deep dives and Smosh Tommy Bow compilations I watch at 3 a.m. It's definitely not because I got too overwhelmed with trying to upload all of my shorts from TikTok to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. No! It simply cannot be because of me being intimidated by the idea of scheduling each reel or shorts I post for the next 30 days at a time. Definitely not that. But hey, now I'm back. Somewhat. Listen, I have the attention span of a squirrel and my brain is the size of a peanut. Pair that with me being nerfed with ADHD, anxiety, and depression. Oh man, you just achieved the good old awkward bundle of joy that has disorganized vocal stems that pop up every 5 minutes. And because of all of my debuffs, the very idea of making content consistently kind of melts my brain. Going to college didn't help with those either, so guess I'm just back to killing off my free time before I face my impending employment at a 9-to-5 job. Wait, what am I saying? Alright, I'm back! For this 2026, I made goals for myself, and one of them was to finish my art supplies. Finish as in use them until it has no drop or ink or paint in them left. And I thought, hey, why not just make it into a series for my social media? It's like hitting 4 birds with 1 stone. I get to not waste my materials, make more art, improve my skills of using the medium, and make it into content to get those big dollar signs. That's a joke, by the way. It sounds like a win-win situation, right? I'd like to think that it is. Well, add to the fact that I'm going to do the editing, voiceovers, replay the same clip every 5 seconds to make sure I cut off dead air. It's going to be a lot. Mama didn't raise no quitter though. In fact, my stubbornness and sheer determination is going to help me pump out content. Most likely not every day on YouTube because that's crazy, but at least 1 to 2 times a week. Hopefully. Perchance? Going back to the actual title of this video, and because of my goals, I decided to draw with this medium in particular and use them to capture my interests and hyperfixations. For this video, I made some Stardew Valley fan art. Why am I specifically redrawing the first image you see when you search Stardew Valley on Pinterest? Well, the idea, it came in a vision. Okay, pause the music. What if I make a Stardew Valley-esque artwork, but with a similar idea to a Monet painting? Monet paintings are textured, as you can see here, and you can put a distinction between colors and dabs of paint. And if you notice, most of his paintings capture nature and sceneries. Now, now hear me out. Stardew Valley, on the other hand, is a farm game where you cultivate and grow crops, which is technically a part of nature. Do you see where I'm hinting at? But, and it's a big but, for a painting in a sketchbook, the crops can be itty-bitty and they resemble little dabs of paint, especially with acrylic markers. Right? So, theoretically and hypothetically, if you combine these things, it'll go well. Now, does my artwork look remotely close to a Monet painting / impressionism-esque artwork? No. But hey, it's pretty close to the idea in essence, and hey, you know what? I'll take it. You gotta take what you can take. I mean, am I supposed to complain? Nuh-uh. Also, just to note, I thought of this idea when it was like, what, 12 a.m. on a Tuesday night? Because everything good happens after midnight. Okay, now that my goofy explanation was explained, now I'm going to talk about the artwork itself. I want to preface this and say that I may or may not have forgotten to film the second half of the process for this artwork. Shocking, I know. As I said earlier, it was like 12 a.m. and I finished the upper half pretty late into the wee hours of the morning. I was tired and I wanted to continue it despite my urge to throw myself on the couch and call it a day. But sometimes you just have to listen to your body and let yourself sleep. Oh my god, that's such a good PSA. I should copyright that. The artwork itself at first was pretty fun to do, despite the perspective conundrum that you saw at the start. Because Denny, what in the world are you trying to do with these lines? Because it's not perspective, let me tell you that. Despite that, once I knew how to work with the acrylic markers, know how it blends, how to blend the colors and wait for the ink to dry, it was pretty satisfying to do. This was one of the first artworks I was able to do in quite a long time, so it kind of felt therapeutic in a way. I was rusty and I didn't have time to warm up my hand before doing this, but it came through in the end, which is what matters. My favorite part of this process was me doing the trees because I really felt like Bob Ross at this point. You know how he said to dab the paintbrush to make little trees?
And you can begin dropping in all kinds of just happy little distant trees. We're not looking for distinct shape yet. They're too far away still.
Babes, I was painting up a storm. Give me a beret and a baguette and I'd fit right into Paris. Me walking around with a little suitcase filled with art supplies while I obnoxiously say oui, merci beaucoup to everyone who compliments my art. Count me in. In all seriousness, this artwork is going to be the catalyst, the start of my serious, don't quote me on this, my serious start on content creation. I'm going to work hard and keep doing what I want, which is to create art and be wacky while doing so. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I might have to base it on this very script I'm reading right now, which is, by the way, 3 pages long. Either way, I'm determined to start the year right, productivity and all. So maybe to fill in some gaps in my commentary, why don't I just talk to you about Stardew Valley and why I'm obsessed with this game and its lore. It all started with this little game called Harvest Moon, which was made by Natsume, and it was first on the Game Boy, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw it first on the Game Boy Advance though, because that's when I was sentient and aware. Why did I say sentient as if I wasn't a live being? Bro, what am I? A ghost? Anyways, I remember playing it vividly, or at least watching someone create a whole series about the main character. I think it was the Harvest Moon More Friends of Mineral Town, where the character, or the main character that you play, was named Claire. And in that series, I was watching it every day. It was like a full-on game series that someone made about the characters, and I was obsessed. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember much of the plot. All I know is that I loved it and that I think it's still on YouTube. If I find a clip, I'll play it right now and you'll see why little 9-year-old me was obsessed. Or not. Maybe you'll just think I'm weird. Editor Denny, please play the clip. And this was the start of my obsession in my childhood, okay? I even made this my game study in my e-games class, where we had to choose a game and compare it to like the old and like, you know, just understand how it works, what the mechanics are, what is the main plot, what is the ending, what is the interface, all that stuff. And let's just say, when I turned in my PDF of that Canva slide presentation, I don't think my professor expected me to make a 288-page Canva slide for him. But hey, it was worth it in the end. I got a straight 100 for that. So I'm so good at this, guys. But yeah, ever since then, I've just been way too obsessed with farming games, alright? From Harvest Moon to now its new series title called Story of Seasons, which by the way is available on PC, Switch, and I think those are mostly the two of them. I think it's also available on the PlayStation, but it's really good. It improved everything that Harvest Moon didn't have before. Like, for example, you can't seem to water the crops in the middle of the crop field, like, you know, the 3x3 that you have in those farm games. Apparently in Harvest Moon, the original one for the Game Boy Advance, you cannot go over those crops. So literally you cannot water it. But in Story of Seasons, they fixed that, where you can literally walk on any crop now. So that's a big plus. They also made some bigger improvements, such as you can marry anyone in the town now. You also get more quality of life things, I guess. And that's all fun and dandy, but Stardew Valley already fixed those problems way before this new rebrand happened. like way before. Also, I think in general, Stardew Valley did a way better job to flesh out their characters. Concerned Ape really thought of everything. Like, they fleshed out the characters so much that you actually feel for them. For example, Haley, you think she's just a stuck-up wannabe pop star, not pop star, I guess in a sense she just, you know, is the embodiment of a typical popular girl. But in the end, you actually feel for her and you actually get to know her more and kind of help her realize that there's more to life than just trying to, you know, look pretty, trying to, you know, do like, you know, pretty girl stuff, pretty girl type shit. But I don't know, it's just like in Stardew Valley, they make you like the characters more in the end. I wouldn't say that about Lewis though. I wouldn't say that about the mayor. But most of the time, the marriage candidates have pretty good stories. Whereas in Story of Seasons, you're just kind of limited to the same like 5 dialogues you get after marriage. It's just... And also, in Story of Seasons, there's not much to do. Honestly, it's just kind of like you have the same set of events every year. You have the same set of things that you can achieve. You have the same sets of crops. There's not much to add to it. But in Stardew Valley, it's more open reign. It's open. It's like an open arena. You can just do whatever you want, hit whatever you want, do whatever type of stuff you want, like crops, mining, building machines and all that stuff. I mean, literally anything. You can have a goal of trying to like marry or date every marriage candidate, or you can speed run the game and try to complete it in 1 game year, which is honestly something I want to do, but I don't think I have the mental capacity or the mental strength to do that. Because imagine sitting there for like hours on end just trying to play this game and complete it. And furthermore, there are people out there who try to speedrun the game in 24 hours. That's insane. And what makes me more obsessed with farming games is because Stardew Valley is directly inspired, or at least inspired in a sense, from Harvest Moon. Concerned Ape said it himself that, you know, he saw the flaws in Harvest Moon and he decided to like change it and fix it for the better. And honestly, I'm really happy that he did end up making Stardew Valley, because we wouldn't have all of this. We wouldn't have a big community on Stardew Valley. We wouldn't have been able to make so many friends because of a game of this size. And not to mention, it's an indie game, which is way more impressive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I think I've yapped enough for today about my obsession with Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, but for now we gotta end this video. And of course, an art process video can't end without some artsy b-roll, right? Cue the b-roll. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment below if you'd want to see more of this type of mumbo jumbo content. I hope my self-deprecating jokes, or my jokes in general, are as funny to you as it was for me. Also, comment down below what type of content you'd want to see me next. I mean, should I keep doing this type of thing? What other things would you like me to see, or would you like to see me draw? Comment them down below. I'm open for suggestions. And thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Okay, shit. How do I turn this thing? How do I end this thing? Oh my god, I had so many takes. This is gonna be so painful to edit. Oh my god.